In the cover of the night, a brood of baby octopuses that are very elusive to us as people who would want to look at them and learn about them, and also to predators were born. And it's kind of an interesting discovery, besides being adorable, of these tiny octopuses emerging almost like mini versions of their adult form.
Which is strange for cephalopods, because most octopuses or octopods are born as, they start their life as larvae and larvae. I'm struggling here. But these are fully formed by the time they hatch. And that's really interesting. These are the Caribbean Dwarf Octopuses. And an aquarium in Sarasota in Florida has managed to get 50 newborns because they had a mother come in who was already impregnated, which is very new for the scientific community too, because we normally can't study octopuses when they're so young. Because once they hatch, they are starving. They're ravenous creatures. They're growing, you know, young boys and girls.
Really? So they're at this point they're just, first of all, elusive, and second of all, like they're growing so much that you don't ever get to study them. I know you have a background in oceanography and physics and biology. So do you have some kind of background in this?
Not with cephalopods. That was definitely not my specialty, but I'm fascinated, and my experience is limited to I was bitten by a blue ring octopus in Australia. It was very intense. I was on artificial respirators and stuff for 12 hours.
Word.
It's extremely poisonous. The neurotoxins paralyze your body and your basic functions. So not a very positive one, but I do love them. I think they're incredibly intelligent. I think the problem is we don't have enough information on their developmental biology because we can't study them when they're so young because they die. When we try and breed them in captivity and study them when they're babies and they go to full-formed adults, first they're very sensitive to pH, acidity, you know, kind of all the temperature and water, so it's very hard to keep them alive. And they're also so hungry, and we don't know how and what to feed them. You know, so it's very interesting. Like, they eat their yolk casing when they're born, and then after that, they just want to go eat more, and we can't feed them. So this is a first.
They are gremlins.
Yeah, and these are night, you know, they're nocturnal creatures too. So this is very interesting because it's so rare to find them. They're tiny. If you see the pictures, they're adorable. And another rarity of this species, surprisingly, is that even though the octopus is half an inch, the eggs are substantial in size. And octopuses, you know, they will lay a lot of eggs. They'll lay up to 500. This species, at least, or this instance of them, was 50 eggs. And they were really large for such a tiny little creature. I feel very bad for this mother. And they were, yes. So it was very interesting. And again, the fact that they're nocturnal, this is a first. So hopefully this will help us learn about their intelligence.
I didn't realize we didn't know that much comparatively about cephalopods.
We know about their life as their adult life. Unfortunately, we're not able to keep them in captivity and study them when they're younger.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this is a new, you know, interesting story that hopefully will bring a lot of light into it. They're fascinating creatures. And this is something that I think they're being very careful about. Brian Siegel is being very careful about how he displays them in the aquarium. He's not sure yet how to have the public access them, because even though it's a great thing, they want to be very careful about treating them and stressing them and killing them off.
Right. So would it be a bad idea to kind of, I guess, we love scientific outreach, but is it a bad idea to show them to the public so soon?
I think in this case, I would probably, with the little knowledge that I have of this species, I think that I would probably err on the cautious side of things. They're also nocturnal, so displaying them is going to be really hard without affecting, you know, kind of their circadian rhythms and stuff. They're going to be shocked no matter what.
So basically, it's going to be very easy for us to kill these little animals.
Yes.
And hopefully we won't do that.